Go Facebook Live. 1 second, Tara. I'm going to answer that in just a second. Good morning. This is Wealth Principle 13. Create a contagious culture to expand and grow your business. The concept is your business should create the concept of purchase, the concept of advancement. So once you've put that into people's head, it becomes contagious. People want to spread your mission. They want to spread what you're selling because it's so valuable to them. It's so valuable to the people that they're going to know in their lives. And so they tell people about it, and they tell people about it, and they tell people about it. And the concept is so strong and so powerful. It's how I've built my entire business around. I don't spend a single dollar on marketing. I don't waste my time with the wrong people. I only spend time with people who have money, with people who want to make money, and people who want to transfer money to other people. Does that make sense? Build a contagious culture around growth and advancement, a contagious culture that can be felt within your business. I don't care what business you're in, but if you're in the real estate business, it's very easy. In the real estate industry, building a contagious culture around growth and bringing more people and more money into your business is super simple, simply by telling them the 4 different ways that we make money.
Jesus.
Good morning. Ron, you're not doing very good at bringing everybody in with the mute concept down, are you?
You're not even on camera.
Want me to turn that off?
Yeah, if you could mute all and then just keep the mentor program in and keep Terry, the coach, in and Mike in there, and that would be awesome. Very good. So, contagious culture. It starts with up here, believing that you're selling a good, valuable product. If you're not selling something valuable or good, then please eliminate that from your repertoire. First step is make sure it's a good product. If it's not going to move people forward, if it's not going to add benefit to people. For example, if you're a real estate agent right now selling high-priced luxury condos, this is probably not the time to be selling those. Does that make sense? So, and to set the context to this whole Zoom meeting, for anybody who's never done the Zoom with me before, to raise your hand, you actually bring your hand up to the camera. That way I can actually see your hand is being raised. That makes sense? Give it a try. Go and put your hand right up against the camera. That is a raised hand right there. Yvonne, I know you know. That's right. All right. So when you're doing a training, the easiest way for you to stay engaged is to pay attention, right? Put your hand up, take a little engagement. If you just let the speaker talk, you'll lose. You'll end up losing context. You'll lose engagement. In order to take all the information in, you have to raise your energy up so that you can actually take it through with your brain. After 7 to 14 minutes, your mind shuts off. And if your mind is shutting off when it comes to your wealth and your business, the results may vary. Does that make sense? Throw those hands up to the camera. Good job. Give yourselves a round of applause. I might not be able to hear it, but I can still see it. I see everybody on the Zoom. If you're on Facebook Live and you haven't jumped into our Zoom, just go to my Facebook page, go down a little bit. Underneath this live feed, there's a button where you can click the link and you can join the group that way. Carlos Aquino, good to see you, gentlemen. Morning. So building contagious culture is something that everybody who is, whether you have a big business or a small business or you don't even have a business, it comes into just your marketing. It comes into every aspect of your business. From the very beginning, just when you're just thinking about building the business, it ties into your brand. It ties into the way you talk to your clients. It ties into the way you talk to your suppliers. It ties into just the way you wake up in the morning. You must know that your business is contagious. Write this down. My business is contagious. And since we're dealing with coronavirus, just think of something as contagious as that. Right? Think of something that the entire country has to close their doors on because they're afraid they might get infected. But now think of it as something positive. It's your business, right? You know, your business is going to change the world. It's going to make the world a better place. And it's just, if it could get in front of them, you know, it passes somebody else, and it passed somebody else, and it passed somebody else. Because you put certain words around the culture. You put certain elements around everything that you're doing. When I built my business, I started around one sentence. Does anybody know that sentence? Well, you're all muted. So you can type it in the chat. If you know my tagline, if you know what I say, Every time I do a closing, every time I end a video, it's always work with the best. When you have a choice, always work with the best. This is a manufactured sentence. It was not natural. It was something that had to be created. The concept was designed to move people towards something, to move people towards an emotional response. And that response is a desire to become the best. Every person inside of them has an inherent desire to be better than they are today. Morning, Jason. Good to see you, brother. Every single person inside of them has a desire to be either better than they are or like someone who they perceive as better. So there's two types of people on the planet that we like, that we're attracted to. People like us, exactly like us, or people who we perceive as doing better than we are. And we're attracted to those people. We decide that's the life that we want, so we chase after it. You want to be perceived as someone who is like the ideal, moving towards the ideal. Every person in my mastermind group, they're all sitting at the top here in your window because we had a little meeting beforehand, is dressed like the ideal. There are a few who now have homework, Anthony, and they're going to dress appropriately next week. And but you look at Ryan, right? Look at Dorina, look at Wander, look at Ron Bowling, right? Dressed to the ideal, because when you jump onto the video, it's just more attractive. It's just more fun, right? It's an exciting experience for you. Anybody who is not dressed like the ideal, it's okay. We appreciate you. This is an education process. It's part of our culture, though. Part of the culture is the pocket square. It's the vest. It's just dressing a little to the top, just a little more fun and exciting, so that people are attracted. They're drawn into the culture. Does that make sense? Hands up. That way I can see them. There you go. Very nice. Kim Possible, I love it. Nice. And Stephanie, you're dressed appropriately. Your hair is done. That's what's important. So it starts with understanding or visualizing 8 billion people catching the addiction to your business. It starts with the mindset. And then once you start thinking, okay, what would create that? What would create something that people would have to give to other people? They have the strong desire to give to other people. And there's a book, which if you're following us, read the 52 books with us. There are 52 books that we're going to present throughout these next 52 weeks. I strongly encourage you jump on the cycle. Millionaires read 52 books a week, 52 books a year. CEOs of top companies read 52 books a year. This is the stats. These are the people who are the most successful on the planet are reading 52 books a year. Does that make sense? So if you want to be successful, do what successful people do. So this book, Contagious, has some really cool concepts in it. And I'm going to go over the chapters because I can't dive into the book 100%. We're going to use a little bit of the principles. But chapter 1, Why Things Catch On, it goes into why $100 is a good place for a cheesecake, only if it's a popular cheesecake, only if it's the only place you could ever get that, right? High end value. They're talking about the Cheesecake Factory. They have a piece of cheesecake that's $100. And why is it that way? It's because it's unique. It's different. It's above and beyond, but it's not their only product. They obviously make their money on all the other elements, but the $100 cheesecake is so unique, so different that it draws people in. Does that make sense? Has anybody had the $100 cheesecake? Does anybody not know that it existed?
I didn't.
Okay. So we're not the target audience, right? But when Cheesecake Factory came out, it was 100%. That's what exploded them, was the fact that their cheesecake was so expensive. Not everything. It was just that one piece. And it was enough to talk about. It was so different. It was so unique. It was so outlandish. Why would you spend $100 on a cheesecake? It was like, these guys are crazy. They'll never make a living. So you had to check it out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's one option, one way to deliver something contagious. Social currency. So social currency is when people feel better about hearing something. So if, for example, say you give somebody a realtor and they're the best realtor. You had a great experience and somebody asks for a realtor, you hand them to that person, or a financial advisor. Say, hey, you know what, this is my financial advisor, they're the best. Why do people do that? They do it because they gain something socially. It's called social currency. The social society sees them as valuable. They say, wow, this person seems to know everybody. This person hooked me up. and the person who's hooking them up knows. They're like, ah, I'm the one. You have to remember that I gave them to you, right? Oh, your husband, huh? Who connected you to your husband, right? That was me, right? I made that, remember that connection? It's one of those pieces that adds value to a business. So when a business gives the ability to connect with other people, and they say, hey, if you tell them about me, I get you the discount, social currency. Does that make sense? Junior, good morning, brother. Yeah, 4-Hour Workweek, one of my favorite books. Dave, good morning, my friend. We're talking about social currency. It is part of making a contagious culture. How can you tie this into your marketing? Focus the entire, there's so many different elements to your business, but right now I would focus on marketing. And this encouragement is coming because during these times when everybody's pulling back, marketing is cheapest. Mailers are cheaper, Facebook is cheaper, Instagram is cheaper, YouTube is cheaper. Google click ads, they're 3 times cheaper than they've been in years. They're the cheapest I've ever seen them. In fact, I was on the phone with a wholesaler this week and last week, 2 wholesalers, 2 different markets, and they're saying they're using pay-per-click ads. We've moved away from pay-per-click. The whole industry basically moved away from pay-per-click ads because Zillow was killing us, because Open Door was killing us, because all of these big, massive corporations were pumping marketing into the funnel. They've all pulled back. So now's an opportunity to double down on your marketing. So focus on your marketing campaigns. What am I doing that makes my marketing contagious? Because if your marketing is contagious, it spreads. People spread it, and it keeps going. And this is the reason people do TikToks. It's the reason people do entertaining videos, just to get their name out there, just to get a little more attention. It doesn't always have to be educational. But I have found that if it's educational, your clients stay with you. They remember you. You want to do 3 things on all of your marketing, all forms of marketing, especially social media, which if you look at the way the world is right now, it's where most people are sitting on their phones. You want to do 3 things. Those are the 3 E's. We call it empower. Actually, let me do it in order. Entertain, empower, educate. You must entertain them. Junior, good morning, brother. That is a complicated question. So he asks, as a new agent, what is the best marketing strategy to gain traction in your business? If you're new and you don't want to spend any money, text everybody on your phone, right? Easiest thing for you to do. Beyond that, you're gonna have to get more creative. Stick on the call. We'll talk about some strategies. Entertain, empower, and educate. Every video you do, every little post you do, if you entertain them, and they're not equal. They're in time for a reason. Entertain is 2 to 3 seconds. Just a little, just enough to keep them on the video. Empower, that's another 5, 10 seconds. It doesn't have to be huge, just enough to inspire them to listen to the content, listen to the education. And then the education, you could do a minute, you could do a 2-minute, 3-minute, 4-minute, doesn't matter. As long as you've enrolled them with entertainment and empowerment, they'll stay with you. And then what you educate them with, you have to sandwich in with empowerment right at the end. When you hang up, when you finish up the call, when you finish up the video, hit them with a little empowering statement. Hey, things are doing great. You're awesome. Make sure that you follow up with this. Hey, by the way, who else do you know who wants to do business on this level? Who's cool like you? Who else do you know who'd be just like you, be a valuable asset to this company? Or, hey, when you have a choice, always work with the best. Leave them with that in the back of their head, something to inspire them to come back. That social currency of knowing that you handed over the best, they can't help it. It's in their minds knowing I just worked with the best and now you should work with the best. Does that make sense? And here's the deal. It's not oversaturated. There's so few people saying always work with the best that you could do it in your business and your market and it would work. Does that make sense? Come up with something similar, but use it. I have students, right? Steph in California. It's all like, use it. Agents locally, use it. If they say, oh, that's cool. If they even know who I am, right? One, kudos to me. But if they know who I am and they say, wow, that's Walter's, all that does is create social proof for you. Oh, I coach with him, or I'm a student of his, or I spent time with him and he said I can use it. I got his permission, right? You have my permission to explode your business. You have my permission to create something viral that grows your business. I don't mind. I want to see you successful. Building 100 millionaires isn't going to happen overnight, but if I create a contagious culture around it where everybody's getting value, we're seeing where I'm going with this? Making sense? Excellent. Triggers. So the next one is triggers. There's 7 elements to creating contagious culture. Having triggers, things that people see, feel, touch, hair, those will create a memory, will create a lasting experience. Apple, when they created the Apple, it was not done unintentionally. What they created was something that everybody could relate to instantly. Childhood memories. The Apple is an icon that when you think of it, you think of good things. Now, when you think of Apple, you think of high quality technology because they've stuck with it for so long and they've branded, they've tied those words, they've tied innovation, they've tied being different to that image. That's called anchoring, but it's a trigger now. So whenever you see it, you think of everything that they've ever created. Does that make sense? This is neurolinguistic programming. This is, I'm telling you, one of the best books I've read when it comes to marketing. This book, Contagious, it will teach you how to build a very contagious marketing culture, and within your business, keeping employees, right, Ryan? So Ryan, you have people you work with, you have partners. Imagine every single one of your people goes out and recruits more people. Just imagine, because they just feel so good in the company that they want to bring more people in. It's how we've built these weekends. These Saturday morning calls are designed to empower you so much that you go and grab somebody else and say, you know what, you need this in your life. This is powerful for you. Build this within your own organization and your organization will grow. Build it with morals, ethics, standards, so that people have a guideline to move with. And it will grow, and it will grow substantially, exponentially. This is making sense. This is valuable content for you guys? You seeing value here?
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Emotions. Why do some things make the email list? How reading science articles is like standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon. Why anger is like humor. How breaking guitars can make you famous. And getting teary-eyed about online searches. When we care, we share. The emotional element is, you can't remove it from the human element. I don't care how long we've been on this planet, we're still emotional beings. We see something and we instantly go to an emotional place. No matter what your thought is, it could be logical, it could be numbers, but you see it and instantly there's an emotion attached to it. You think about money, just think about money. Right now, focus on money. What emotion are you experiencing? Put it in the chat box. Think about the emotion and then put it in the chat box. What are you experiencing? George, you looking sharp, man. I just saw you. Very nice. You know what, Ryan, I got to take it back. He's wearing a tie. He's outdressed us both. Good job, George. I love it, brother. So we're seeing money. Oh, wow, not important. Tony, I'm going to work on you, brother. I'm going to work on you. All right. Remember facts tell stories? Yes. Love it. Smile, good, freedom, activities, money in the future, yes. So money can represent many different things. Some people will say it's not important. Some people will say they love it. It creates freedom. Some people will say need it, which, by the way, Mike, need is a dangerous word. Need comes from a place of scarcity, a lack of money. So we want you to say, I want it, or I'm attracting it. Money is coming to you easily and freely. It's moving to you in an avalanche. And just know that to be real. Money, options, being able to take care of my family and friends. Yes, yes. And I know that Tony, even though he said money's not important, that's exactly why he works. Very good. Generational goals. Absolutely. Generational wealth. Thank you, Ron, for sharing the link in the live chat. You are the man. Very good. So it's an emotional experience, even money. Right? Even money has an emotional attachment to it. Something as simple as if I tell you to think about a butterfly, visualize a butterfly. Think about it. How does that make you feel? Does it make you feel free? Does it make you feel light? Maybe some people go to the cocoon and they think about change and how things can be a worm or a caterpillar and then become a butterfly. And so it doesn't matter what you're going through in life, you could eventually be free and the most free creature on the planet. Some people go to a dark place and think, oh, butterflies only last, a week and then they die. So they're only this beautiful thing for a short period of time. Well, you choose your story, right? It's important to realize that when you're creating your brand, your logo, or the tone of your voice, all of this creates something in the mind and it creates an emotion. And that emotion is what you can use to drive traffic to your business and what you can use to drive traffic to your company and to maintain people in your business. There are places that you've walked into in your life, businesses, large companies, small companies, even the drive-thrus, where you've gone through and you feel different. As soon as you walk through the door, you feel either an anxiety or you feel an excitement. Starbucks is a company who's done a great job with this. You walk into a Starbucks and you just feel better. It's just one of those things. You walk in and you're like, it's a little nicer in here. I'm going to talk differently about, I'm not going to ask for a large, I'm going to ask for a grande, right? It's a culture that they've created that makes you feel unique and special. And there's an emotional experience tied to it. Everyone's experienced this on some level? Very good. Excellent. So public. So one of the pieces that Apple, talking about Apple, right, that they do very well is their logo is everywhere. So where did they put the logo on their laptops? It's on the outside, right? It's not on the inside. It's not where the user sees it. It's on the outside. Actually, I'm using my Apple up there, but the Apple logo goes right on the outside of their phone, goes on the outside of their laptop. Right? You're looking at an Apple right now, right, Ryan? Where they put their logo? They put it where you can see it. There it is. Yep. And that's done so that other people see what you're using. Starbucks. Have you ever seen somebody carry a Starbucks cup with the face in? No. You turn that face out and you drink with the Starbucks logo facing out. Right? There you go. Terry, Christine, there you go. So it's something, it's public. If you can give somebody the ability to have your product out in the public, you're giving them social proof. They're giving them the ability to be somebody different. And it creates an infectiousness with your brand. It makes your brand contagious. A lot of companies are afraid to give something away for free. And a lot of companies are afraid to promote their brand on something that somebody's going to have in their house. I have had this conversation. Maybe you know somebody like this. I've had the conversation with somebody about, you know what? My God, you should put your logo on the coffee cup because they're giving these free mugs away. And you should have your logo on it with your website and your phone number and how they can get in touch with you. And that would be so powerful. And they said, well, I just really want to give them a good coffee cup. I don't want them to, be thinking about me every time they drink from it. And you can see the craziness of that, right? You want them thinking about you every time they touch that cup, every time they look at that cup, every time they wash that cup, right? You want them thinking about your business. You want them thinking about the great experience that they had with you. Make it public, right? You want it so they put it in their house and people have to ask about it. Hey, what is that? What is that you have in your house there? How did you get that? Oh, let me tell you the story. Let me tell you all the tale around all of this experience that I went through, where I went there and you know what? They gave me a high quality product and I had to put it somewhere visible. They gave me an award. They gave me some form of acclaim. Mike, what do you got there? Is that a real estate?
My friend who's an architect.
Perfect.
He gave it to all his customers. And I love it because it's a Yeti and I think of him all the time.
Contagious, right? And you're an attorney, so you're taking that to you with the closings. Right now you're on Zoom, talking about it. The pens. The pen is one of the it's one of the great staples, right? Every business owner has a pen.
Yeah.
And when you tie the pen to an action of, hey, carry this one in your pocket. Keep this one with you, right? One statement creates a contagious effect. The words you use in your business create a contagious effect. You can do this on your marketing. You're doing mail marketing. You put it right at the bottom sentence. Make sure you share this with someone. Make sure you share my offer with someone. It's an instilled program that's in their head since childhood to share. Make sure you share this with somebody. Now they're going to be on the call later with somebody else and be like, you wouldn't believe this. It's subconsciously implanted in their minds. They have to share it. Does that make sense?
And actually right now, because of the virus, every time somebody uses one of my pens at the closing, I say, you have to keep it because I'm not taking it back. And they're all so happy to get a pen. Even when they're buying a $300,000 or $400,000 house, they get happy about the pen.
Right. Absolutely.
Yep.
Ron, Carlos is asking you to type it out. He might actually be gone already. He might be still in there. I see one person on. Steve, good morning, brother Brandon. How are you? Very good, Mike. That is a form of utilizing all this, and then tell them, keep it and keep it on you. Yeah. Right? Put it in your purse, put it in your jacket pocket. This way, the next time you write something important, because you only write important things with the pen that you're carrying around with you. Right. Because in that moment, it was the only pen. Make sure you keep that one on you. Keep that next to you, because I want to make sure I'm saving you in the future.
Right.
Implants in their mind, right, that you help in the future. It's contagious. You can do this in every aspect of your business. And I want you, as we're going, don't just let this moment go by. Either come back and watch this video, but as you're going through all this, write down ways you can do this currently in your marketing, in your company, with your employees, but focus on your marketing today. How you can improve your business. Go ahead.
My pen has my phone number on it. So when I finish closing, I say, I gave you my card, but the pen also has my phone number on it. If you ever have any issue, feel free to call me.
Absolutely. Yeah. One rookie mistake that I've had wholesalers do to me is put your phone number, make sure you put your phone number, your website, and your email address on your marketing. Bless you, Dorina. I see it now. She's like, because I've received mailers where people said they wanted to buy my house, but I had no way to contact them. Right. No way to contact them. They made a fatal error. They sent me the mailer, which points, but then they didn't put a contact to get in touch with them. The only contact I had was their mailing address, which I didn't care enough to go and write a letter and say, hey, how interested are you in buying my house? This is the 18th century. Let's go back in time. With my quill, does that make sense? Make sure you put the right number, verify, double verify, make sure the number works, and make sure you put your email address or your website if that's how you generate leads, so you can pull people in. Do not put your website on if it is not a way for you to grab contact. If your website doesn't have a lead funnel, if it doesn't have a magnet on it to grab their contact information, your website can actually be detrimental to your marketing campaigns. But your phone number and your email address, unless you don't check them, those are the guaranteed ways to bring in the flow. So when people consider putting their website on, I'm very cautious with having you do something like that, because it could end up leading to you losing the client. Does that make sense?
Yes. Definitely.
Very good. Practical value. If your product provides practical value, it's usable, reusable. We were just talking about cups. We're talking about pens. We're talking about real estate coaching, right? It has practical value. It's reusable. You can jump into this program again and again and again. That's something that you would want to provide to somebody. If your product or your marketing doesn't provide practical value, reinvent it. Find a new product. Find a new company. When it comes to your employees, it's the same thing. Add value to your employees' lives at all times. If what you're doing hurts or doesn't add value, change it. Non-negotiable. But if what you do adds value and it's in addition to the service you provide, it doesn't matter if it's cheap, it doesn't matter if it's free, it doesn't matter if it takes you a second, but if it's something different from what other people do, people will remember you. People will spread it. It's I have a buddy who details cars. He details cars, and one of the conversations he and I had about his marketing was he goes and he puts an air freshener in the car. Cheap little air freshener, spent 97 cents, and he puts it in there. But afterwards, they remember him. They see the air freshener, they remember him. Now he's got a branded air freshener that goes in the car. Makes more sense, right? He took it to the next level. He has a little vacuum that he was able to buy out of China, these little vacuums that they plug into your car and you can just vacuum your little section, right? Small little vacuum fits in the glove compartment. He puts that in there with a tag that says, just a gift, want to help you keep your vehicle clean. Think of me the next time it gets really bad. Think of me the next time it needs that extra touch, right? This way, now they have a useful product. They've already paid for the detailing, but now they get something that's going to help them maintain it. Does this make sense? And his brand is on it. He's got a tag now with his brand and his logo on it, so they think of it. They can't throw it away. It's too valuable, too cool to ever get rid of. They can't put it anywhere but in their car, which they're in every single day. Does this make sense?
Yep.
Make sure that your branding is useful, your products are useful. And tell stories. Stories are like Trojan horses. As I'm teaching you today, you're remembering everything because I'm using stories. I'm going back to people that I know. I'm going back to experiences that have happened. And I'm having you create your own stories in your head. The story of the butterfly, the story of my friend Jeff, who builds his detailing business based on giving. These are stories that now memorized, right? They're in your head memorized. Stick with that ability to tell stories. Campfires, right? Everybody in your life has gone around campfires at some point. Anybody not been around a fire? George, come on, I don't believe you. So most people have been around the campfire and just told stories. This goes back generations and generations and generations. And the reason that people do that is because it protected us. Back when somebody did something and didn't move when there was a lion there, or didn't move when a bear was there, or they stood up and they yelled and the bear walked away, survived, now they tell their tribe. And that's how the tribe in the future knew how to survive. And the people who never heard that story died. Does that make sense? And so telling stories to each other, we see value in it. We see memorable things. The mind takes in the story and says, this is important. So make sure when you're talking about your brand, you're incorporating a story. When you hear about me and Walter Murillo, what does he represent? You hear about how I went from broke to $250,000, how I went from nothing to less than nothing to negative 25,000, and then went through a divorce and then built a business up from the ground, and then acquired properties and built a bigger business and acquired more property, and now giving back. There's this story that unfolds, and if you're that kind of person, you relate to it and say, I want to do the same. I want to build a business. I want to buy real estate. I want to retire, and I want to give back. And that's what the 100 Millionaires is all about, right? Becoming a millionaire to help more millionaires become millionaires is a mission stronger than you. It's a mission stronger than me. And to anyone who is successful in it, you will become a billionaire. Because when you're hanging around with 100 millionaires and they're all investing in the same products, the same concepts, you can't help but become a billionaire. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Spend more time with people who are on the hunt, who are on the grind, people who want more, people who want to see the world a better place. Don't hang out with those people who think things are fine the way they are, because they're not. They're good, but they could be better. They could be much better. And with somebody like you working on that and attracting more people like you working on that, the world can slowly, gradually become a better place. You have that power over other people. You have that power over yourself to improve yourself daily. There's a saying that people say often in all industries, people never change. Who's heard that? Hands up to the camera. Who's heard people never change? You can't change people, right? I disagree, but I do agree. People outside of you, you can't change them. You don't have the power to change a person, but you can change yourself. You can change. You can become change. And with the right change around the right people, you can influence people. You cannot motivate a person. This group, this room of 43 individuals who have stayed from the beginning to the end, this group of people are motivated. Otherwise, you wouldn't still be here. I can't motivate you. All I can do is inspire you with a way to become wealthy. That's my mission, is inspiration. I can put it into your mind, the path to do it. I can create the habits in your head to say, if you do this enough times, I guarantee success. If you don't do it, I guarantee nothing. Does that make sense? So to my people who are working with me in the mentorship program, I want to give every single one of you a big kudos, give you guys a round of applause for all the work, all the homework you've been doing, all the hunting you've been doing, all of the marketing you've been doing. You are some champions. And when we presented it last week, the $1,000, you said yes. I know, and for anybody who doesn't want to hear the sales pitch, this lasts about 5 minutes. Is there anybody interested to hear about the mentorship program that my students are in? My champions, my future millionaires. Very cool. So I'm going to talk about it for about 2 to 3 minutes. So for years, I've been doing coaching for free. I've been training and teaching, and I've noticed that people would jump in and they jump out. And it wasn't until I sat with my coach and he said, you don't charge, that's why. If you start charging, people will start staying. If you start charging, people will see value, they'll start doing. And I thought no, because I've always been that I do it by myself. I read all the books. You don't got to tell me to read a book. You don't have to hold me down, right? I don't need that accountability to go and read a book. But I did need accountability to get to the next level of my life. And that's why I paid my coach. And I paid him a lot of money. I paid him a lot of money, right? And I've paid other coaches a lot of money. And by a lot of money, I'm talking in the ballpark of 25,000, 35,000. I've spent over 85,000 in coaches, programs, trainings, and that doesn't include hotels and airplanes, right? Or food. That's self-development. That's improvement, because there was something in those purchases that I couldn't change. It was the fact that that person wasn't going to give me the time of day if I didn't show them that I was ready, if I didn't show them I was serious. And the other side of it was that because I paid so much, I got on the plane, I took the 5 days off, because otherwise I can do a lot. My business partner, Ron Bowling, is on the phone right now on the Zoom call. I can do a lot in 5 days, right, Ron? You could just nod your head, or you could throw the camera on, throw the audio on. Go ahead. Tell everybody hi.
Hi, yes.
Am I not productive in 5 days, Ron? I want the pat on the back.
Very, very productive.
So when I'm away from the company for 5 days, what happens for you?
I get to rest a whole lot.
And so you see my dilemma. I don't like to leave because I don't want anybody on the team resting. I want the work being done. So for a coach to pull me away, they had to charge me. For me to go and take the time to dedicate to a program, they had to charge me that money, because otherwise I would be like, no, I'm making more by staying. Does that make sense? So that's why I put it at $1,000. You know what $1,000 does? Wipes out the unserious people. Wipes them out completely. If $1,000 is too much for you to move forward in your life, good. I'm not ready for you yet. You're not ready for me yet, because I'm going to have you spend way more time and money in building your business. Just in the marketing alone. Just in the marketing alone, if you can't spend $1,000 in your building strategy and investment, you can't handle the next step. And that's okay. You're not there yet, but that doesn't mean you won't be. It doesn't mean that you won't be. It just means that keep coming to the free stuff. Keep reading the books. Keep diving in. The 52 weeks of wealth, this is free for a reason. I'll always do this for free. I'll continue to do this even if I'm not the one teaching it. One of my coaches, one of my students, one of my future millionaires will teach this so that it continues and perpetuates. But put in your mind that you want to spend that money at some point. Make that investment. Put in your mind that at some point, if it's not me, it's somebody you know is going to move you forward. If I'm not in your industry, if I'm not the person who has the lifestyle you want, find somebody who does. But as long as $1,000 is stopping you from your future education, from your future life, from the first step to becoming a millionaire, as long as that's a thing, you're not going to get there. I promise you. And the conversation I had with my coach 5 years ago, different coach, different mentor, different stage, it was $10,000. And he had this conversation when he said, look, how long is $10,000 going to be a big deal for you? And I told him, I was like, oh, next year, I'll figure it out. I don't know. I'm working on it. He said, until you set the goal, you're not going to be able to work it out. All right? Until you set the goal, you're not going to work it out. And then he said, do you think if you put it on a credit card, you'd pay that credit card off? And I was like, well, yeah, but I don't want to do that. And I don't encourage it. For me, I'd rather have you guys do a payment plan with us. I'd rather not have you go put things on credit cards. But at the same time, this is what he told me, and I'm just conveying a story. Does this make sense? Anybody in sales, what I just did is called handling objections before the objections provided. Does that make sense? Very good. So now that we understand that the money is not a big deal, because the return on investment is $1 million. It's the gateway to the $1 million, right? It's the gateway to get you there. You have to understand, early in the call, I decided, is $1 million worth it? Does it make you greedy? What's the value of money? Some people said money doesn't matter, but the people who said money doesn't matter, I happen to know are grinders, building fortunes, building massive companies. So it's not the money that motivates them. It's the amount they can give back and the change and the things that they're doing. So maybe the money doesn't matter, but it's a scorecard. It's a way to say you've improved the world. It's a way to say that you added $1 million worth of value to the world. Who else do you know doing that? Just a few of us. Does that make sense? So the mentorship program, what we do is it's 8 weeks. It's currently 8 weeks. I'm dying to have Ron allow me to cut it down to 6 weeks, but it's 8 weeks where we get on the call every Monday at 8 o'clock. We jump on this call, and it's a traction call. It's a deep dive. It's a coaching call where we dive in with the group and we say, what are you doing? What's working? What's not working? You get accountability. You're told what to do for the week. It's designed for you specifically. Everybody reads a book a week. There's a book a week that we provide. It's a lot of work. The accountability, the steps. This is not for somebody who's just happy to skate by. This is not somebody who's looking to take coronavirus and say, this is, it was a bad time that happened, whatever. This is for the people who want to capitalize on what's happening right now. This is people who see the opportunity that we're seeing and want to jump on it and make more money while everybody else is crying. Everybody else is in fear. Everybody else is scared. We want to go solve problems for people. This is for people who want to take their lives seriously. This is next level stuff. So the work is there, and it's not easy, right? It takes about 5 hours to get through all the work each week. It's a grind. There's a net worth tracking sheet that you will fill out every single week. The last week, everybody did it, and they've had some results already. An awareness. Even the people who know these things and should be doing it all the time. We have my good friend Ryan McDermott on, and he's a financial advisor, and he knows the concepts, but I know he found value just writing it out. I know there was value just in writing it out physically. And next week, we're going to do the same thing. It feels redundant, but because we're looking at our net worth and tracking it, we're gaining net worth. We're gaining an awareness of, wow, that I forgot about that. That piece is there. I can add more and I can gain more net worth. There are some people in my program who are already near the $1 million mark. There's some people who have a long way to go financially, but not time-wise. It doesn't take long to make $1 million. It doesn't take long to earn $1 million. It takes doing the right things. Ron and I added $1 million to our portfolio with one transaction. It took us 2 months, and in one transaction, we went from having 14 units to having an additional 24 units added to the portfolio. And then 3 months later, an additional 11 units added to the portfolio. Does that make sense? So it's possible. It takes having the right people. It takes having the right knowledge. It takes having the right strategy. But it took us no money. Does that make sense? Now, I will say that we did have to put $28,000 into buying the 24 condos. But we did go and raise $50,000 right after that to pull our money back. So if he and I didn't have the money, I would have pushed the closing a little further. Does that make sense? So I want to be full disclosure with you. Yes, I did put money in, but then I pulled my money back out very quickly, only because I didn't need to go 100% money, no money. So those skills only come from somebody who's done it before. So when you're looking for your mentor, when you're looking for somebody to change your life, make sure they have what you want. If you don't want to be able to live in Vegas for 3 months, I might not be the guy. If you don't want to have a beautiful team of amazing people around you at all times, I might not be the guy. If you're not looking to have a portfolio of rental property managed by somebody else who you're providing value to her life and her business, and your tenants love you, like my tenants fucking text me saying, hey, how's everything going? I hope you're doing okay in this time. My tenants are checking in on me. If you don't want that life, I might not be, if you want that, don't want that, I might not be the guy, right? That's the reality of it. But if you want to build a phenomenal business, if you want good friends, good partners, people you could partner with, because I will do a deal with you if it's the right deal, if there's enough meat on the bone, if it's juicy enough. I mean, we're talking juicy. If you're going to get rich off of this thing, I'll jump on it, right? We're talking rich, right? You talk about $1 million deal, me and Ron will jump in on $1 million deal. As long as there's enough meat in the bone where you're going to do well and we're going to do well, I can jump in on that. But every other deal, I just want to see you rich, because if the world has more millionaires in it, there's more people giving back. There's more people with this right culture, turning people into better people, just educating people. And as my mastermind and as my mentor program alchemists are going to know, when you start reading The Science of Getting Rich, that's what it's all about. I don't believe that you can kill the poor by just feeding them money, by just handing them money. I believe you destroy the poor by going and teaching them how to be abundant, by teaching them how to build wealth. It doesn't have to be $1 million, but millionaires have a much better chance of teaching people how to make 100,000, teach people how to make 50,000. Just getting them out of poverty levels, just teaching somebody how to make an extra $5,000 or $10,000 would change somebody's life. And a millionaire who's been able to amass that much wealth can do that, can make that change. Is this making sense? Excellent. So that is my mission, and that's the mission of the people that I implant in my culture. Is every single millionaire I built has the requirement to go out and build 100 millionaires, at least one. But I implore everybody in the mentorship program to aim for the 100. And I guarantee you aim for 100 people, you're going to end up mighty rich. Does that make sense? Ron, can you drop the link? If somebody's interested in the mentorship program, can you drop the link in the chat box? And it's easy to get to because I just made it my name, GualterAmarillo.com. Just go to GualterAmarillo.com, type it in, hit the link, say, yes, I want to pay Gualter $1,000 to be better, smarter, more ambitious. If you're not there, I'm okay with it. You know, text me anytime. I'm available via text for all of my students. It doesn't matter whether you're free or paid. It's just that my students who have paid me, I take a little more time with. I'm invested. Every single Monday, I will be there at 8 o'clock. Every single Monday we review. And then I get one-on-one session, which I just went through this week with 7 of our students, and it was phenomenal. Just being able to get to know you a little better and seeing your opportunities that you have, the unique history you have in the past, the businesses you've already built, and seeing the opportunity you have. But when I see a person, I say, okay, this person has opportunity. But when I do the one-on-one and I really get into the details, I get excited. I'm like, oh my God, like you have way more than you thought you had. Like, I didn't know you had all this. Like, this is, you're sitting on a multi-million-dollar business and you're talking to me about just making $1 million. You have all of this ability from your past experience. And we're just talking about $1 million right now. Like, it's just so powerful to know that this is just the beginning for you, right? That one-on-one is more powerful for me than it is for you. It just gives me a gauge of where you're going, what you're capable of. And then allows me for the next 8 weeks to push you in a direction that's going to create the right habits for you individually. Every single person gets a slightly different habit. Every single person gets slightly different homework. So the last 10 minutes, I'm going to open this up to be a conversation between my students. For the people who have joined the mentor program, this is your chance to let people know if you're interested, if you figured out where your money is, what you do. I'm going to give you each about 2 minutes, what you do, and how somebody could help you, what the best referral would be. Either if you're hunting for property, where it is and what type of property. If you own a business, what it is and what type of referral is best for you. If you're looking for employees, who you'd like to work with you. This is only available to the people who are our students. So I'm going to unmute you now. And Ron, I don't have the ability to unmute people. So if you are one of my students, you can unmute yourself. There you go. All the people who are in the mentor program. Ryan McDermott, you want to go up, brother?
Sure.
Excellent. Tell us about you.
Yeah, so Ryan McDermott, I am a partner in a financial planning firm called Cross Coastal Advisors. Also looking to invest in real estate. Currently my target area is the town that I live in, which is Dedham, Massachusetts. I'm looking for properties that are in like the 2 to 4 family range. So anybody, if you're a wholesaler or a realtor or have any kind of leads, feel free to reach out to me. I'll put my information in the chat box, but my number is 617-833-9057. You can text me there anytime. As far as my business, Cross Coastal Advisors, we sort of focus on people that own businesses and real estate that own intangible assets. And how do you, if you're trying to get into real estate and you need to get yourself financially organized, we can help you with that. If you already own a little bit of real estate and you're trying to kind of understand how that interplays with the rest of your financial life, we can help you with that. If you own a lot of real estate and you're thinking about transitional wealth and next generation, and how do you get that to the next generation when you have things like estate taxes, we can help you with that. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Very nice. Ryan, you know what I like about your, we'll call it a pitch, right? Your USP is, we can help you with that. We can help you with that. We can help you with that. It's powerful, right? It's powerful. Before we go into the next section, before I continue going through the mentor program, Mike, book of the week, bro. What is the book of the week?
Right.
Give it to us.
All right, let me see if I can share the screen. Hang on a second.
Yep.
There we go.
So this is the book of the week. I mentioned Contagious earlier. Contagious is a book that I mentioned last week. This week's book of the week is You Are a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life by Jen Sincero. Mike, tell us about the book.
This is an amazing book on mindset and how to just become the great person that you are inside. I've listened to this book over 10 times on Audible. My wife and I have given this book to over 15 people, bought it through Amazon and sent it out. Every time I listen to it, I get something more valuable out of it. It'll blow your mind. It has funny stories, which is just what Walter was talking about. Great stories, but great insights and just ways to become the person that you were meant to be. I cannot recommend this book highly enough. And Jen Sincero actually reads the Audible version, which is awesome. The stories, especially her story about being in India, will blow your mind. And again, read this book, it'll change your life. So that's the review of the week. Thanks.
Love it, Mike. I can't tell you enough how valuable books are. I mean, my relationship with Mike has been so valuable, just as a friend and partner and just somebody to bounce ideas off of. That's why I love, doing the podcast with him. And you can check out the podcast soon. We've unloaded it. It is out there on SoundCloud, 100 Millionaires, but it's also on YouTube. You can see our posts a little before we actually release them. The blog is being worked on, right? So I wrote a blog last night, so second blog to kind of tie into everything. And in that blog, we're going to have all the podcasts. I have multiple podcasts that I'm a part of: Alchemist, Insights, 100 Millionaires, doing one with my brother, and another one's 15 Minutes of Gold. They'll all be available with all the different topics that we talk about. Some are business, some are real estate, some are wealth. Like me and Mike, we're just talking about wealth building and the 100 Millionaires, and it's about that mission.
Abundance.
What is it?
Abundance.
Abundance. Abundance. Yeah. That's right.
Sense of the word.
Exactly. Darina, you're up.
Hi guys, so I'm Darina and I'm a realtor, but my number one thing is investing in real estate. My sweet spot is Worcester, and I'm obsessed with 3 and 4 deckers. In Worcester market, there's a lot of them, and currently we are working with a team of wholesalers every Monday and Friday. And if anybody who is here is a wholesaler and are looking into that, we can talk about it a little bit later and share the link. It's a mastermind. And what we do, we keep each other accountable, we train, we use the systems to reach out to sellers, homeowners, to get that off-market deals for either yourself, for your clients, for people you know that are looking to invest, and specifically multis, buy and hold for cash flow. The cash flow from day one, it's a great deal. If it doesn't, we don't bet the market. We don't look for, we don't hope for appreciation. It's a bad strategy. So this is my focus and has been a focus for the last couple of weeks. I love passive income, and I'm sure 95% of people on this call, that's what they're here for passive income.
Oh yeah. So
I live in Waltham, but again, I invest in Worcester because I think that's where the money is, and I know that market. I love it. I love to go on appointments, meet people, very extroverted. So that, if you want to talk to me, I'm happy to talk to you. Sometimes I spend too much talking, but that's what I do. I'm good at follow-up. So I can share my number here and my email here in the chat box. So if you'd like to join our awesome team, I'm happy to explain a little bit more.
And Darina, how much does that team cost?
That team costs nothing.
That's free. All right. So if you're a wholesaler, so I have to take a little bit of credit here. I've built wholesale teams before. And when Darina came into the mentorship program, I told her, I was like, honestly, what you're looking to do is build a wholesale team. And this is how it's done. And this is how I've done it. And this is how you can build it very quickly and make it contagious so that people are sharing the link and people are sharing the event, and then they're sharing deals with you. Building a wholesaling team, teaching people how to wholesale, teaching people who can't go and buy their own property. And as they say in the business, they can't kill the deal. They can't close the deal. They can't take it down. Let them wholesale, right? They come in, they want to wholesale. Dorina will teach you how to wholesale. She's going to teach you how to go through the process, give you the lists, teach you how to buy Mojo, invest in Mojo, go and do the deals. I think I know Anthony's part of my mentorship program. He's going to be with Dorina on the lines. And I'm going to encourage everybody in the mentorship program to at some point jump into the wholesaling team and just try it out. This way, if you find it's not for you, you can at least build one on your own. This way you can teach people how to go and find you deals and just collect deals just by having a couple calls a week and everybody else is pulling it for you. So it's an option. Anthony Walker, what are you looking for?
Okay, so like you said, my name's Anthony Walker, and I'm looking for as well 2-family, 3-family, 4 families, and I'm in the JP area. Nice. So if anyone have anything in the JP area, you can give me a call. I'll put my contact information up there. And just like you said, I'm also with Dorina, so I'm starting to learn how to do the Mojo dialer with try to wholesale or just get properties, period. So
yep.
If you have anything, just want to join, just give us a call.
Anthony will be wholesaling in Jamaica Plain. So if you know anybody who's looking to buy property in Jamaica Plain, Anthony's going to be wholesaling in that market. So Anthony, can you put your cell phone in there? So if somebody's interested in working with you, that's a great opportunity for someone. Heads up, Anthony actually does have COVID-19. So that's what that cough actually is. Actually, not kidding. He is on the recovery right now. So give Anthony a round of applause. He's doing awesome. He was sick, and he found a way to capitalize on this. He's in the medical industry and he's on the front lines. And unfortunately, he did contract that disease, and he is looking way better than when he and I was jumping on calls 2 weeks ago. So phenomenal recovery.
Thank you.
Who is next? Where are you? Ryan McGovern. What are you looking for, my friend?
I want houses. I'm in Pawtucket. I'm a real estate agent with HomeSmart, and I'm looking to build my portfolio. I have one property now, but looking to buy 3 and 4 families in Pawtucket, rehabs. So I'm looking to meet up with wholesalers, contractors, electricians, attorneys, whatever it is within the industry. I want to speak to you. And if you have a multi you're looking to list, give me a call. Yeah, just looking to grow my portfolio and go on this millionaire ride with you guys.
Hell yeah. Ryan McDormick, Ryan McGovern, I'm sorry. When I sat with Ryan, one of the things that he said, what he was drawn to me is he wants to do things the right way, ethically, morally. That was his main guiding point to joining us. It wasn't like being rich was important to him, but he just wanted to know he was doing it the right, moral, ethical way. And so I strongly encourage, if you're in the Pawtucket market, this is a gentleman to work with. He's also got his real estate license. So if you're looking to list or you're looking to buy an investment property, he and I have talked in our coaching. He is not going to be working with normal buyers. So if you're just looking to buy a condo or a single family, Ryan's not the guy to go to. If you're looking to buy a multifamily, you're looking to invest, Ryan is in that market, and that's what he's obsessed with. He's reading the books. He's on Bigger Pockets. He's on every one of my trainings. He's in my mentorship program. He's hustling. He's hanging with champions. He's somebody you want to be around. For sure, if you have a deal in Pawtucket, he's looking to buy. Now, the deal has to be a deal. He wants it at the right price, just like Anthony, Ryan, Dorina, Wander. You're about to talk to here, Wander. They want it at a right price. They want it now. That makes sense? Sharing is caring. Very welcome, Ryan. Wanda, are you coming up? But before I jump to you, I want to get Stephanie, because I know Stephanie is in a unique situation. Where are you? There you are. So she woke up super early. Stephanie's in California right now, and she owns a hair salon. So Stephanie, tell us what you're looking for. How can any group in the country add value to you?
Okay, so I'm looking to open like 13 locations, hire 200 stylists that are like in the same mindset, that want to grow their business, that want to earn the big money, and basically I'm just looking for people that could contribute to maybe motivating my team and helping me like grow them like individually too, as people.
Absolutely. So Stephanie has, she's building salons, right? So salons right now are in a scary situation. Every single one of them is thinking, oh my God, I'm never going back to work. Oh my God, this is done. Like, how can I survive a little bit longer? But there are ways that she and I have communicated, ways to actually service the community right now. People have to pay a little bit more, and the stylists have to be much more careful with what they're doing, but they can still go service the community. They just can't. In California, it's illegal to open up shop. So your shop has to be closed. So they have to operate very differently in California right now. So they're able to operate, but it's very different. And she's one of the few people who understands how to do this and is going out and taking this action, which makes her a leader in her market. It makes her, when everything opens up, and she's been doing her videos showing people how to make wealth, when everything opens back up, she has a solution to bring people into their company, into the salons, to make more money, to make more income, to improve their lives. So adding 200 people to a company that's already running very well in the downturn, when everybody's scared, is one of the easiest things you can do, because you're showing them a light at the end of the tunnel. You say, you know what, during all that, I was still making money. During all that,
only
I found a way.
The passionate artists and hairstylists are gonna get back, on top, and that's what the people that I'm looking to bring into my team.
Very good. Thank you, Steph. We appreciate you doing a good job. You're doing the homework. You're doing all the steps. Give Steph a round of applause. It's not easy, but it is possible, and she's doing it. Wanda, my friend from the Cape.
Yeah.
You have been texting me all week. You are aggressive. You are moving. I love seeing it. What can we bring you? What are you looking for?
Well, my name is Wanda, like Walter said. Almost closer to Walter, or Wanda. So you're wondering who's Wanda. Mm-hmm. So I'm a real estate agent. I'm here from the Cape. I'm looking for wholesalers, and I'm trying to build my portfolio. So I'm here, if anybody have any deals, I'm helping, to buy or sell houses, but my focus more is in investing.
Right. And so you're looking to purchase on the Cape, right?
Yeah, Cape or around the Cape, like Plymouth, like Carbon, any area that is closer to the Cape.
All right, I'm working on him. I'm working on Wanda. We're going to dial it down to one city, one section of the Cape that he wants to invest in, but we're getting there. And if you know somebody in the Cape looking to dump a property, I know I've tossed away so many deals in the Cape because it's just not my market. I do Fall River. It's what I'm good at. So now I know who I can funnel them through. So if you know somebody on the Cape looking to get rid of something, especially during this time when people are starting to reevaluate all of their finances and they're saying, you know what, do I need this right now? That extra home down the Cape, it might be a time to let it go. Wanda's ready to help them let it go at a nice cheap price, nice and quick.
Yes.
That said, if you're interested in the mentorship, I'm interested in you. I'm interested in taking you to the next level. If making $1 million, if building a team of millionaires is not your thing, that's 100% okay with me. Encourage someone who seems obsessed with making the world a better place to come and join us next Saturday. Next Saturday, I'll be revealing the next wealth principle in the 52 weeks of wealth. I'll be revealing another speaker, another conversation, another topic, another book. The speaker will be Mike, I'm sorry. So Mike will be the speaker for the book of the week. Do your best. If it's not our book of the week, read a book this week. Find a wealth principle. Go back and watch the other 12 videos of wealth principles. Go back and research some of these concepts. You can just go, if you're already in Alchemist University, you can go back and you can look at them. If you are on the YouTube channel, they're organized in a playlist. Go and find a way to reinvest. Go and find a way to make something about your company more contagious. Whether it's your employees, whether it's your marketing, whether it's just how you feel about your company. It starts inside with you. And if you can do one thing this week, make sure you do it. Make sure it moves the business forward just a little. Write it down, whatever it is right now, right before we leave, because I hate not giving an opportunity for success. Before we leave, write down the one thing you know would move you forward this week. Is it a marketing campaign? Is it a branding option? Is it a conversation? Is it a strategy you have to write it down? Is it something you have to research? Is it a text message that needs to be sent? Is it a campaign that needs to be sent? Just write it down. What is the one thing you could do right now such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? What can I do to make my company more contagious? What can I do to make the people around me want to be a part of what I'm doing? What is the one thing you can do such that by doing it, everything else is easier or unnecessary? Just take 30 seconds, write it down now. And if you don't have my cell phone, I'll give it to you now. It's 774-526-4796. You can text me anytime. Please do not call me ever. If I believe it warrants a call, I will call you. But for the most part, I've been doing this for a very long time, and I love my retirement. I love that I only look at my phone a couple times a day, and I want to continue enjoying my retirement the way I have, but I do want to contribute to the society. I want to contribute to the millionaires. I will respond back, I promise, and I have figured out how to do that via text. And if I feel that it's worth a call, I will let you know. You'll see that I'm calling you. Is that safe? That makes sense? Very good. If you have any questions, shoot me a text. I will gladly get back to you. I'm looking forward to seeing you next Saturday. Same place, same time, please. And I implore and I encourage you, if there's somebody you know who wants to be more successful, please encourage them to join you. Send them the invite, share it with them, give them the opportunity, give somebody you care about, somebody you like, somebody you think would be on this mission with you, give them the opportunity to come and join us. We're building 100 millionaires. I know you're going to be a part of it. I appreciate you. Cheers to your success. When you have a choice, always work with the best.
Always work with the best.
That's right. Hi, guys.